Welcome to You Belong in the C-Suite podcast. You are ambitious in life and in your career, but something is missing. You want to bring more of your passion to what you do. Because let's be honest, you pour a ton into your work, and it needs to mean more. I'm your host, Laura Eigel. I'm a mom, wife, PhD, coach, advocate, introvert, and indoor rowing fanatic. I'm passionate about living a life that's in line with my values. We'll give you the actionable tips and tools you need to lead with your values, make a difference, and have career success. The world needs more diversity and authenticity in the top jobs at organizations. Your leadership belongs there. You belong in the C-Suite. What gets you up in the morning? What drives your decisions? What do you stand for? No idea, not even sure where to start? I use my values to guide my life and career. It's the basis of how I've built boundaries for myself and stuck to them. Are you ready to dig into what matters to you? Go to thecatchgroup.com to download your free values worksheet. That's thecatchgroup.com to download your free values worksheet to get to your core values and take action on what matters most. Welcome to this week's episode of the You Belong in the C-Suite podcast. So we are heading into the holiday season, and I wanted to stop and remind you of something. Or maybe it's not a reminder. It might be something that you don't realize just yet. And here's the thing I wanted to tell you. You are already ready. You are already ready for that next thing. I had a coaching session today with a coachee, and it was somebody that I had coached in the past. And she reached out this week and she said, "Hey, do you have time to connect?" I said, "Of course, let's connect." So we did. And it was great to catch up with her and to see how she was doing and to see how she was feeling and what she needed. And she needed to hear that message today herself. So I thought that I would bring it to you as well. You are already ready. You're already ready for that next thing, whether that is a promotion, whether that is to get out of an unfulfilling job, whether that is to go start your own business. You are already ready. And so I wanted to replay this listener favorite, also called You Are Already Ready, for you because there's a couple of really important messages in there that I think she can hear again and that might be beneficial to others right now. So I want you to listen to this episode and these important messages because you are amazing and you're probably more ready than you think. And at the end of this episode, you will hear an invitation to apply to the You Belong in the C-Suite group coaching program. Our next cohort starts in 2025. I invite you to join us. Now, let's take a listen. And I remembered a conversation that I had with a fellow coach colleague of mine a few months back. So we are both coaches, but we serve different audience, but both run programs that help women leaders advance their careers. And we do check-ins every few months together. And in one of our check-ins, we talked about how we had leaders that were interested in advancing their careers and talking to us, but they had not yet applied for our programs. Like they had interest, but they weren't sure if they were ready for our programs. Like they were having imposter syndrome over even applying to a leadership program. So even in that capacity, they didn't think that they were ready yet. And we thought, my fellow coach friend and I, we were like, wow, this is so ironic that this is happening, not even at the job level, but at the development level. Like I remember one email exchange I had with one participant at the time that wasn't sure about her readiness for my You Belong in the C-Suite group coaching program. She said that she felt like she needed assistance, that she was not getting the support that she needed from her manager and in her role, but she wasn't sure if she was ready enough to join the program. But in a moment of courage, she submitted her application. And in an email to me, she mentioned that she put her resume in the freaking box and submitted her application. And I loved seeing that language in our email exchange. And for those of you that aren't familiar with the story, I open up my book, Values First, with a story from early in my career when I didn't feel qualified to apply for a job. Like many women, I reviewed a job description and didn't meet 100% of the criteria of that job. So I didn't apply. But when given another chance in person at a job fair, I grounded myself in my values of development and remembered that, in fact, I love learning and then I can figure most things out. So I put my resume in the box and then ran away as fast as I could so I couldn't undo my decision. But basically, I submitted my application, right? And so this leader had quoted my story and mentioned that she had submitted her application and put her resume in the box. She did the thing that she was scared to do. And I realized that in that discussion with my coach colleague that we were witnessing that women just weren't feeling this way when just submitting their resumes for jobs, but also for other opportunities for growth and development. And so they don't feel they're ready enough to even apply to development opportunities. So today I'm going to dive deeper in this idea of you are already ready. So in the quiz, this is how I describe this idea of you are already ready. So you are already ready, but you don't believe it yet. This feels like maybe you've been with the same company for a while or in the same role for a while. Things aren't bad per se, but they aren't as amazing as it used to be either. Maybe you've been in your role or a level for a while. It feels really safe to stay. You still get new opportunities in your role, but you feel stuck at a certain level. For instance, maybe you've been a senior director or a director for a while, but haven't progressed past that. You might still generally like the company, and there really isn't an incentive to leave. So you're pretty comfortable, but you are still not fulfilled. Maybe you aren't being challenged. You still know that you want to achieve something when you're ready. And that's the key word, when you're ready. The organization hasn't promoted you yet, so you must not be ready, right? And the spoiler is this: you are already ready. You are. You may not believe it yet, but your work isn't being recognized for promotion for whatever reason. You are already ready for bigger things. This looks like imposter syndrome. It looks like being passed over for promotion. It looks like being recognized with consistently great performance, but not enough to get to that next level, right? So I'm here to tell you, you are already ready. You've been ready. You are ready to apply to a bigger role. You are ready to keep growing. You belong in a bigger role. You belong in a space to develop and continue to grow. You are ready for that next thing. Even if you don't yet believe it yourself, I am here to tell you, you are already ready. So what could that look like? It may mean that you are ready for a new role within your existing company. It could be a new role in a different department. It could also mean replying to one of those direct messages on LinkedIn when a recruiter reaches out to you. It could mean looking at bigger roles instead of settling. Even if you've recently been laid off or don't have a role right now, it means not settling. It could mean submitting your resume to bigger roles at smaller companies. It could mean challenging yourself to get out of your comfort zone of the industry that you're currently in and apply to roles in other industries that you're passionate about. It could mean not waiting for your company anymore when they've promised that promotion. That was months and months ago, and nothing has happened yet. It could mean not waiting for your manager to develop you and putting your development in your own hands, like getting your coach or joining a development program. It could mean deciding that you are ready for your next role, but knowing that it's not at the company that you're already in right now, and having the peace of mind of knowing that's okay, that you'll find something somewhere else that meets your goals. What I know is that even when you make the decision to leave, that some leaders are stuck in a holding pattern. How do I know that? Because the other 30% of that group I mentioned, the data in my quiz, tell me that people are ready for a change, but they haven't done anything about it yet. So they are ready for a change and are still in that role. They're stuck there, whether that's imposter syndrome, whether that's lack of accountability, waiting for their bonuses to pay out. I will tell you, there is always something that is going to hold you there. They know that in the long term, that is not the role for them, that in the long term, that company isn't right for them. They may feel disengaged. They may feel like they're not giving their all, but they're still a high achiever, right? They may care less than they used to, and they know that that's not like them. So why haven't they left yet? Lots of reasons. They may need a next role before they leave. They may have an outdated resume and they don't know where to start. Maybe they don't feel like they are up to networking yet. They may be waiting for lots of different things to finish a project. They don't want to leave their team. You love your team. You don't want to leave your direct reports. I could go on and on. There's always something that's going to keep you there. So whether you are ready or if you've already made the decision, right now, you're in a position that feels uncomfortable. And I want you to reach your career goals. But more importantly, I want you to live a life aligned to your values, and your job can be a big part of that. I want you to be at a company that aligns with your values. I want you to set the pace for your week and feel challenged but accomplished and not overwhelmed with work. And I know that you can get to that. You may need accountability to get there. You may need community to get there. You may just need an outside perspective. I'm inviting you to join us in our next group coaching cohort of the You Belong in the C-Suite group coaching program. I know it's called You Belong in the C-Suite. And before you even talk yourself out of it, let me tell you about the types of leaders who've loved this program. They are leaders who have career aspirations for more. Maybe that's eventually C-suite roles, maybe it's not, but they know that they want more than they have now. Maybe they are trying to get a promotion, or they've just landed a big promotion and now they want to feel more confident in their role. Maybe they're misaligned and they don't know how to find alignment and they need career clarity. Maybe they need more confidence before they apply to those roles and they don't know where to start. They're usually women in the director level and above, but I will tell you that not all job titles are the same at companies. Some smaller companies don't have director titles, so sometimes they are senior managers. They lead small teams to large teams. Some strive to get to the VP level. Some are still trying to figure out their director level at bigger companies. They are usually women in their mid-careers with aspirations for more. And if that describes you, then you should apply. You should put your resume in the freaking box. That's the metaphor. There's actually zero requirement for you to submit your resume as part of the application process. The application process takes about 10 minutes. I ask you things about what you want to get out of the program, things like career clarity, a space to hold yourself accountable in your career transition, maybe a way for you to build your confidence. I ask you about what you can give to the program. So what are your strengths that you can bring to the group? What specific experiences do you bring that will help others learn? I ask you about your level of commitment and availability, those types of things. So if you've ever thought about it, now is the time to apply to the You Belong in the C-Suite group coaching program. You don't already have to be in the C-Suite, so please do not discount yourself. The You Belong in the C-Suite group coaching program is a 6-month experience. I build out cohorts that are really small on purpose. The sweet spot for cohorts is 4 to 6 women in a cohort. That way you get a group experience, you get to know the other women in it, and you get to learn from them, but you also get individualized attention as well. This is a space where you will need to show up. You need to attend and do the work. We also meet you where you are too, though. Each month we focus on a different module, but you have a customized plan that you work on at the beginning. We also start out group coaching with a one-on-one with me so that we can get you kicked off in the right way with a customized plan for your development. Then we meet monthly for group coaching sessions. And then we also meet a few times in the month to build community to get informal coaching along the way. So in that 6-month time span, I've seen leaders get promotions, get raises, negotiate for more in terms of their bonuses. But most importantly, I've seen them gain confidence, build boundaries, and prioritize themselves and their development. So ask yourself this: where do you want to be in the next 6 months? In 6 months, do you want to have more confidence? Do you want to get rid of some of those limiting beliefs? Do you want to get more career clarity? Do you want to land a new role? Do you want to transition to a new role with the boundaries that you've always wanted? Go to thecatchgroup.com/group coaching to apply now. The 6 months will go by no matter what. So if you are thinking about it, I would tell you this: you are already ready. I'll say it one more time. You are ready now. Put your resume in the freaking box and do the thing that you want to do. Remember, your leadership belongs here. You belong in the C-suite. I want to thank you so much for listening to the You Belong in the C-Suite podcast. If you are enjoying this content, please remember to rate and review on Apple Podcasts. By leaving a review, you are helping others find this content. We will be featuring 5-star reviews on air in upcoming episodes. Editing and support for the podcast is done by S&E Podcast Management. To get more tips and tools to help you live a life guided by your values, go to thecatchgroup.com. Keep your boundaries and take care.